praying Jehovah.
Black Americans, have you ever thought about not wanting to be a black American? Have that thought ever crossed your mind? Even through trials and tribulations of personal things that you went through, have you ever sat back and be like, damn, I don't want to be a black American. Why was I born a black American? Why I couldn't be born somewhere else? Why I couldn't be born in the universe or somewhere in the galaxy? But why I had to be born a black American? Have those thoughts ever crossed your mind? There are a lot of people in other countries that wish they wasn't who they are or where they come from because of the conditions they have been through. Now, before I continue, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you can, please join my membership. Now, if you can't join my membership, I totally understand. But if you subscribe to my channel, that'd be a great thing, and I appreciate it. What prompted me to make this video, I seen a Nigerian young girl, and she was online saying that she wished she wasn't a Nigerian, and she didn't like being a Nigerian. And let me play this video right quick so I can give y'all greater context.
8 planets, 7 continents, over 250 countries, and somehow I ended up in Nigeria. Wow! I ended up in Nigeria.
Now, watching that video, you probably saying to yourself, dang, it's that bad in Nigeria for a person to say they wish they wasn't Nigerian. That's wild, ain't it? But sometimes I had to ask myself, why are they saying that? What makes them feel that way, right? And sometimes it can come from frustrations within Nigeria, within the conditions they got going on, especially with power outages, food insecurity, corruption, and limited opportunities made for Africans, right? Because even just with the certain conditions that certain people live through, that can put a stain on somebody's brain and make people go crazy. I can understand that. But for them to say they wish they wasn't Nigerian is wild to me. Could it be the negative stereotypes that people say about Nigerians, about them being scammers? We know they scammers. We know how Nigerians get down. But is it deeper than that? Is it deeper than that? Because what I noticed with a lot of Nigerians, especially like the Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, they beef a lot. And a lot of those tribes don't like each other. They stop opportunities for each other. If one get, let's say, Igbo get in power, they're going to make sure the Yoruba and Hausa don't have anything. That can cause a lot of stress on a person. Just the living conditions of where she might be living at might cause it. Customs that been forced upon her might cause that. That's a lot of trauma for somebody, right? A lot of people think I hate Africans. I don't hate Africans. I'm a human being. So when I see someone, they say something that's kind of out of whack, what's going on really? What's going on really? Because if you go online, you'll see a lot of Nigerians ripping up their passports saying F Nigeria. We don't want to go back to Nigeria. A lot of times we will say, well, fight. Build your homeland. Do what's right for yourself and your people. That's what we'll say. But listen to that young lady. It got me to thinking about one of my friends named Matt. Matt been through a lot in his life. He was from Chicago and he moved to Mississippi probably when I was like maybe in 6th grade or something. But we started kicking it real tough when I got out of training school in my 9th grade year. But we was very close friends, man. Me, him, my cousin Dave, and a few other people. But Matt had a rough life. He had a rough life, man. His mom was on drugs. His daddy died from a drug overdose right in front of him. His brother was unalived in front of his house. That was in Chicago. I remember we used to kick it a lot, man. We used to play video games and stuff like that. I think he had like a Super Nintendo or something. I think he had like a Super Nintendo. We used to play WWE versus WWF a lot. And his mom was cool. You know, I'm going to call his mama Jay because I don't want to say her real name out loud or nothing like that. But trauma can cause a lot of things with people. Like it can affect people in different ways. Might not affect you the way. It might not affect you the same way that it affect him, or it might not affect me the same way like it affect him, but it affected him. Number one, keep in mind, his father. His father overdosed from drugs. His brother was unalive in front of his house, and his mom was on crack at the time. Now, when I first met his mama, I knew she was on some type of drug, but I never really been around nobody. Mama was a dope fiend. Never in my life. Through all the shit I done seen in my life, I never known someone's mother was a dope fiend till I met Matt, right? So there were certain little things that she would do that'll just throw me off a lot. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, it was a dude named Scoob. He was around our age. I think Scoob probably like a year older than us. So Scoob had to be 16, I had to be 15 years old. So Scoob, we was about the same age. But Scoob used to be around his mama all the time, right? And I remember late at night when I used to go over Matt's house, I see Scoob and his mama just walking around the neighborhood like at 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. You know, just walking the streets, you know. Never thought nothing of it. Never thought nothing of it. Till one day, I went to Matt, you know, me and Matt, we was all sitting outside chilling. I ain't gonna never forget, it was raining that day. And he was just very angry and frustrated and upset, but we didn't know what he was angry about. Until that's when he started telling us his real life story, what I mentioned earlier, about his father, about his brother, and about what's going on with his family and his mother. So we didn't know none of this, you know what I'm saying? So he was telling us how when his father passed away, they got some money. I think they got over like $300,000, and they decided to move to Jackson, Mississippi because they want to get away from Chicago, want to start a new life. So he was explaining to us how his mama bought, I forgot, man, he brought a Sebring. Y'all remember them Chrysler Sebrings back in the day? His mama had a gold Sebring. No, she had a black Dodge Intrepid first. Then they got a gold Sebring. So they had a black Dodge Intrepid at first, but they totaled it out. But he was just explaining to her just everything what's been going on. Woo. So as he's talking, we see Scoob and his mama walk under the breezeway because we was in an apartment complex. She walked under the breezeway with Scoob. We didn't think nothing of it, you know, whatever. Scoob never really hung with us like that, but Scoob used to always be with his mama. So when he saw Scoob and his mama, he just flashed out on his mama. Just started cussing his mama out. I think he even punched his mama. You know what I'm saying? There's been a few times when I seen Matt attack his mama. And that shit, just imagine, you don't come from a household like that. Your partner's mamas and daddies never fought in front of you like that. Let alone the sons hit their mama or hit their daddy. That's something we never seen before. But us as being human beings, us as being who we are, we pulled Matt off of him, told him chill out, woo to woo. That was it. As time go on, things happen with Matt and his mama, you know, in the apartment complex where we were staying at. They totaled both cars. You know what I'm saying? One of the cars that was totaled, he let some girl drive it or something. I don't know. Some girl that he thought he can get with was driving the car, ended up tearing it up. So they didn't have a car, right? So now you see them two walking, Matt and his mama walking. So eventually they had to move, but they end up moving around the corner to a townhouse. I ain't gonna never forget this day, y'all. So we was over there with me, Dave, Darian, and somebody else. We was all just sitting there chilling, man. You know, everybody, I don't smoke, but they was smoking or whatever. And we all just kicking, you know, just shooting a bobo or whatever. We hear a thump upstairs. Now keep in mind we downstairs because they stay in the townhouse. We hear a thump, bloom, 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 bloom. So Matt run up there, Scoob upstairs with his mama in the bedroom. Keep in mind, Scoob about 15 to 16 years old, so he around the same age we is. So Scoob upstairs with the mama passed out on the floor, foaming at the mouth, all types of shit. So we run up there. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro. It fucked me up. I ain't never seen no shit like this. Now maybe y'all seen some shit like this, but she was just shaking. His mama had to weigh about 75 pounds, about 4'10", 5 foot, but she was just shaking on the ground, just shaking. She was naked. That's another thing. She was butt and booty naked. Matt reached down, stuck his fingers in his mama mouth and pulled out all her teeth. That shit fucked me up because I never seen nothing like that. Ain't like how old people got dentures, but he just pulled all her teeth out. Like, it seemed like he was pulling them things out his mama mouth one by one. I might be over exaggerating, but at that time it seemed like that's what he was doing. So as she's shaking and convulsing and shit like that, somebody downstairs said, "Hey, I'm gonna call the ambulance." Matt like, "No, don't call the ambulance. She do this sometime when she get high." And when she said that, I said, "High?" I said, "Nah, no weed. No, we don't do this shit like that." So she was smoking that crack. So obviously she was smoking too much of the shit. But man, this what Matt did. Matt poured some water in her mouth. That motherfucker said, woke up, looked around, and act like nothing didn't happen. Let me tell you one more time. I don't know if she was overdosing or having a seizure. But I remember Matt pouring water in her mouth. And she did this, looked around, and act like nothing went wrong. On the spiritual aspect of it, man, I felt like I saw some spirits in that room that day. So we left because I'm freaked the fuck out. So one of my partners that be over there a lot too said, School fucking on his mama. I said, what? School fucking on his mama? I said, do Matt know? Like, yeah, Matt know. Matt be telling me that he be hearing School fucking the shit out of his mama in the other room sometime. I said, what? Now his mama's about 45 to 50 years old. Cause Matt the baby boy. You know what I'm saying? So he went through all that. So as time go on, man, we all I think we fell out about something. It wasn't nothing petty, but I talked to him again a couple years later. I think that was my 12th grade year of high school. And I was about to graduate high school. And we chopped it up. And he said, man, I don't know what to do, because now they homeless now. He said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to, get my life back together. Because he dropped out of high school when I met him. So he wasn't in high school. He wasn't in school. But he like, man, I just don't know what to do with my life. He said, it's tough on me. My mom, she's slipping in and out of hospital because she keep taking the wrong drugs. My sister, because he had a sister too. Now the sister I think she stayed in Jackson, but she was doing her own thing. She wasn't involved with the mother and her brother like that. I guess she wanted to get away from it, looking back on it. But he was just telling me everything. He just broke down crying. You know what I'm saying? He just broke down crying. You know what he told me? He said, I wish I had another family. I wish I could do this all over again. And why this is happening to me. Through the era of the crack era, a lot of us seen the crack era, how it destroyed families and stuff like that. But the one thing I haven't heard Matt say, and anybody else say, that they wish they wasn't a black American, they wish they was somebody else. I haven't heard that. Now, you might hear a few things where people say they wish they were white so they could have white privilege and stuff like that. But Matt went through all that. And all he said was he wished he had another family. He wished he could start back over. And he wished his mama, his daddy, and his brother was okay in life so he can succeed in life. In closing of this story, sometimes when we see people like this African lady, like this Nigerian lady going through this mental lapse, sometimes we got to look at what these people going through in their homeland. But my boy went through extreme stuff in his life. But he never ever told us that he wished he wasn't black American. Cause one thing I will say about him, he was black and proud. He the one put me on this book called Blood in My Eyes by Jonathan, oh man, I'm having a brain for y'all know what I'm talking about, Blood in My. He put me on that book, so he was self-conscious about who he is as a black person. So it just goes to show that regardless how rough it is as us as black Americans, regardless how what family trials and tribulations that we went through our families, trauma, or some people been touched on, some people been abused, some people been left for dead, some people been adopted, all that stuff. But one thing we haven't done, I wish I wasn't a black American. We might say we wish we had a different family. We wish we had different circumstances. But we still had that black American pride within our spirit. Nigerian people's spirit is broken. Okay? And closing on my boy Matt, right? He ended up passing away. I heard he passed away, man, of a drug overdose. He was on some psychotics or something, like one of them medications that you take to keep your mind, I don't know what you call it, but they say he overdosed on medication, man. They found him passed out, and from what I understand, his mama died of a drug overdose like 5 years prior to his death, you know. So I always think about him. Sometimes I always think about Matt sometimes when I be going through my mental changes in life, you know what I mean? Like when stuff be coming at me, man, you know, and I be stressed out about certain stuff, wishing, hoping, praying, whatever I need to do to get myself together, or what I need to get myself together, or why I'm in this position. Sometimes I had to think about boy Matt, like this nigga went through some shit at a young age. He had to hear some shit. He had to go through some shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to look at myself sometimes. I mean, like, Brian, you blessed like a motherfucker. You is blessed, man. You blessed to, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't mean to. Y'all can end it right here. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I gotta thank the elders, man. Like, without the elders in my life, I probably wouldn't make it to where I'm at today. I was one of the even though I was hard headed, even though I was doing some things, but man, I always listen to the elders, man. You know what I'm saying? I always listen to the elders, man. The elders always used to tell me, like, they always used to talk to me in a biblical way, you know, through God and Christ and praying and being honorable and, you know, just doing right. You know what I mean? I'm thankful I listen to the elders, and I'm thankful I listen to other mentors in my life. You know, they always say experience is the best teacher, but other people's experiences is your best teacher. I used to see people do some shit, and I see the after effects of it, and I see how it affects them, how it affects their family or whatever. And I internalize what they going through. I always put myself in their shoes and what they going through. And that makes me not want to do what they did. That's why I limited. That's why I didn't make a lot of mistakes. Personal mistakes. You get what I'm saying? I made mistakes now. But just certain extreme mistakes I didn't make. Let me tell y'all something. I got in trouble back when I was young. I'm going to tell y'all that later. But when I was young, I got in trouble. But let me tell y'all something. As I got older and I saw my partner, mama, deteriorate when her son went to prison, went to federal prison. When they gave that boy, what? How much was it? It was what? 120 months in federal prison. That almost took his mama out. And I was 18 years old. He was 18 years old. I was just graduated. I literally just graduated high school. Now, I was about to graduate. His court was in May. I ain't gonna never forget. It was May 2001. And I was working at this architect firm at the time. And the architect firm was downtown, so it was right down the street in the federal building. So I went to the court, you know what I mean, when I got out of school. And, well, I got out of school early. And I went to work. And when I was at work, I went to the court or whatever. Or did I? I went to court. I don't know. But this here, I can't remember. I'm old, y'all. But I remember when they sentenced him, because I was cool. Me and his little brother was like this. Like, me and his little brother was best friends. But I remember just the defeat in his mother's eyes, man. How sad she was. How she was crying. How she was stressed out, right? And as time went on throughout the years, I just saw how his mother was just deteriorate. A once vibrant woman went down here and she died, man. She died real young. She died real young, man. She died, like, I think 4 years later after he was sentenced. 4 years later. I was stressed. Some people say because she was taking these dietary pills. I don't know, but I just saw the change in her, man. And that was her oldest baby that went to prison. Nah, that was her. I think he was like 19, but I know we were behind each other, but yeah, that what made me not want to commit crimes when I got an adult. Cause I said, man, I don't want my mom and dad to be stressed out like that. I don't want to put my mom and dad through that unless I'm defending myself. I never want to do that to my family. I never do. And me being a single father, I most definitely didn't want to be an absent father to my children. I mean, man, boy, I got a story to tell you, man. Let me tell y'all something. I went through some things, man. You know what I mean? Like, I had plenty of opportunities to work at the best places you can ever imagine. But I chose to turn those jobs down or even on the negative side, I had opportunity to do the negative stuff, but I said, man, I'd rather work at McDonald's than being an absent father to my child. And the reason why I turned down those high paying jobs, because it's going to take a lot of time away from my kids. You get what I'm saying? And I never wanted to do that. So guess what? I sacrificed. I worked certain jobs where I worked from 8 to 5. So therefore, I'm at home. I get to see my kids out to school. I get to see them come home from school. And I wanted to be there with my kids. I didn't want to be that father that just constantly work all the time and just work my fingers to the goddamn. No, I wasn't going to be that dad. I was all they had, and I was going to make sure that I was going to be there for them. But anyway, shout out to everyone. We all have circumstances. We all go through stuff, including myself. But we all can still have some pride within our ethnicity and us being Black Americans. Anyway, salute to y'all. And I hope that story connected. I hope y'all understand where I was coming from also. But anyway, salute to everybody. I love you. Peace out.